Okay, Cal, and one last question I want to put to you is, what advice would you give to that young entrepreneur that's entering the mortgage investment business?
The biggest thing that I could say about new people in the industry is that many enter trying to make a quick buck, and this is not an industry for people like that at all. And I used to call them cash cowboys. All they were ever concerned about was getting a fee. When I came into the business, I was young. I was in my mid-30s. But every client I looked at, both borrower and investor, was not just a client for one deal. They were a client for multiple deals, multiple investments, and it was more about the relationship than making a quick buck. And in this industry, if you can look at your clients and your investors and say, I want to be working with that guy in 5 and 10 and 15, 20 years, you're going to build a good business. And the only way you keep that client, that investor or that borrower, is by being honest with them and giving them good service and always communicating. To me, as an investor or a borrower, anybody that picks up the phone and calls you immediately after you leave a message is somebody that I want to deal with. And that's the kind of service that I always gave and always wanted to get in return with anybody I dealt with.
And Cal, we see that in Alta West Capital, that many of your original investors from way back in 91, 94 are still investing with us today. In fact, I think you said you went and visited one of them last night.
Yeah, last night I had dinner with one of my oldest investors, and they've become friends over the last 20 years, and him and his wife, and my wife and I went out for dinner and enjoyed each other's company. And Norm started with me when he was in his early 60s. He's 87 now, and he and his wife are still going strong. They put it all in with Alta West, and we've had a great relationship. And there's several others that I've had very long-term relationships with that are still with the company.
So finally, if you could look into the future, what do you see for this industry? Is it going to be a more regulated environment? Is it less? Is there going to be more opportunity? What do you think?
I think from a political and economic point of view, we are going to see more regulations. We're going to see fewer players. We're going to see bigger consolidated players in the industry doing more of the business. The institutions, like the major banks, are still going to be biting off what they think are the cherry deals, the cherry mortgages. But they never take on, I'm going to take a guess, 20-30% of the business that they leave off the table is business that should be taken on by private lenders, and it is very secure.
That's right.
Based on the equity formulas that good private lenders apply.